If you are over 60 and you feel fine, there are tests your doctor can order that do you more harm than the thing they are looking for. 6 of them. I want to walk you through every one, because my people have been living a certain way for 200 years, and it is starting to look like we were onto something the rest of the medical world is only now catching up to. By the end of this, you will know exactly which tests are worth your yes, and which ones you need to slow down on before you sign off. My name is Noah. I was raised Amish. On land my family worked long before I was born, and what I know about the body did not come from a classroom. It came from elders who paid attention, and from watching what actually happens to a person when the land is the only doctor in reach. We do not chase every test. We never have. Now hear me on this, because it is not just a feeling. Doctors who study this for a living have looked at communities like mine, and they have found something plain. We get screened less, far less. And in some of the very cancers doctors love to test for, we come up with fewer cases. I will give you the honest part too, because I am not here to oversell you. Some of that is the screening. Some of it is just how we live. Less smoking, less drinking, more work with our hands. But even with that honesty sitting right there, it still tells you something. Less testing did not cost my people their health. There is a real term doctors use for this, and you should know it. It is called watchful waiting. It means a doctor finds something on a test, and instead of treating it right away, they keep an eye on it, because plenty of what gets found in an older body was never going anywhere dangerous to begin with. The trouble is, watchful waiting is hard for a system built to treat. Once a machine finds something, there is a button for treating it. There is no button built for leaving it alone. That is where these 6 tests come in. Checkup number 1, the routine colonoscopy. Past the age of 75, when you have no symptoms and a clean history already. I am not telling you to skip a colonoscopy if you are bleeding, if your bowels have changed, if your body is telling you something is wrong. I am talking about the routine repeat, the one scheduled because the calendar says it is time, not because your body said so. The body that sets the screening guidelines in this country has already said it plainly. Past 75, with no symptoms and clean scopes behind you, the risks start to outweigh what you stand to gain. The prep alone, that liquid you drink the night before to clear everything out, can pull the water and the minerals right out of an older body faster than it can handle. I have watched a grown man end up weak and confused from the prep alone, before the procedure even started. And the polyps most likely to be found in a person that age, in many cases, grow so slow they would never have caused a single problem in the years that person had left. What to ask for instead? A simple stool test. Done at home, no prep, no scope. It catches the warning signs without putting your body through a procedure it may not need. If you are with me so far, tell me where you're watching from. Just drop it below. I read everyone. Checkup number 2. Aggressive PSA testing for men and yearly mammograms for women when you are at low risk and nothing is wrong. Let me be careful here. Cancer screening has saved real lives, and I'm not telling you to walk away from it. What I'm telling you is this. Past a certain age, and someone with no symptoms and no strong family history, these tests get so sensitive, they start finding cancers that are barely cancers at all. Slow, quiet, the kind of person would carry their whole life and never even know was there. But once a report uses that word, the whole system moves. Biopsies, specialists, treatment decisions, all of it, whether that cancer ever needed treating or not. There is real research, published in one of the most respected medical journals there is, looking at women over 70 who went through mammogram screening. A meaningful share of the cancers found never would have shortened that woman's life or even caused a symptom, and the treatment brought nothing but the side effect. Ask instead. Ask your doctor plainly, if we find something here, what would we actually do about it at my age? And would that treatment improve my life or just my paperwork? Checkup number 3. The routine cardiac stress test. When you have no chest pain, no shortness of breath, nothing telling your body something is wrong. This one sounds responsible. You get on a treadmill, or they run a medication through you that mimics exercise, and they watch your heart. Here is the problem. In people without symptoms, a meaningful share of these tests come back looking abnormal when the heart is actually fine. And once that flag goes up, the system does not shrug. It moves you toward a catheterization, a thin tube threaded through a blood vessel straight into your heart, with its own real risk, bleeding, damage to the vessel, and in rare cases, it can trigger the very heart attack it was meant to catch early. If that catheter finds a partial blockage, which is common in a heart that has lived 70 or 80 years, You may walk away with a stent and a lifetime of blood thinners. One of the largest studies ever done on this found that stenting a stable blockage did not lower the chance of a heart attack or add years to life, compared to medication and walking, plain walking, every day. What to ask instead? Before agreeing to a stress test with no symptoms, ask what happens after a false alarm, and whether managing your blood pressure, your sugar, and your movement would get you the same protection without the procedure. So, if your liver has been feeling heavy, you've been tired, holding on to more than it should, I made a whole video on that, and it is linked right above this one. Go watch it after this. And if this is helping you, hit like and subscribe. It helps more people like you find it. Now, let's get to checkup number 4. Checkup number 4, a bone density scan, followed automatically by years of medication, without much conversation past that. Osteoporosis is real, and falls are dangerous. I am not pretending otherwise. What I am questioning is the automatic part. A scan shows low bone density. A prescription gets written, and a person takes that pill for years, assuming they are protected. What often does not get said plainly is this. Long-term use of these bone medications has been linked to a rare but serious problem, a spontaneous fracture in the thigh bone, the very bone the medication was meant to protect. It has also been linked to damage in the jawbone that is painful and slow to heal. Meanwhile, the thing that actually prevents most fractures in an older body is not a pill at all. It is balance. Studies on a slow, simple practice like Tai Chi have shown it can cut the risk of falling nearly in half. Add to that clearing the loose rugs and clutter at home, grab bars where you need them, your eyes checked regularly, enough protein and vitamin D in what you eat, and you have done more for your bones than most prescriptions ever will, with none of the side effects. What to ask instead? Before starting a bone medication automatically, ask what your actual fall risk looks like and how much that risk would drop with a structured balance practice compared to the pill alone. Checkup number 5. A carotid artery ultrasound, checking the vessels in your neck that feed your brain when you have never had a single symptom of a stroke. This one sounds like simple insurance. Find a narrowing early, clean it out, lower your risk. But for someone with no symptoms, the surgery used to clear that vessel carries its own real risk of causing the very stroke it was meant to prevent. And here's what almost nobody explains. Many people past 60 carry some narrowing in that vessel for years. Stable, silent, never causing a problem a day in their life. Screen for it, and a well-meaning surgeon may recommend fixing something that was never going to hurt you, and the fixing itself is what carries the risk. The body that sets national screening guidelines has looked at this closely and recommends against routine carotid screening in anyone without symptoms. No warning signs, no sudden vision changes, no weakness on one side, nothing. What to ask instead? If you have no symptoms, ask whether your time would do more good on the things that actually drive stroke risk. Your blood pressure first, then your blood sugar, then whether you're still smoking. Checkup number 6, and this one is newer, but it might be the most important one on this whole list. The full body scan. MRI or CT, sold now as a luxury, marketed to people with the money to pay for peace of mind. Get scanned head to toe, they say, and catch anything early. Here's what the actual research shows. Out of more than 27,000 of these scans done on people with no symptoms at all, fewer than 4 out of every 100 turned up anything potentially serious. And even most of those, once followed up, did not end up being a real threat. What it does turn up, reliably, is something else. Somewhere between 15 and 30% of these scans find at least one thing. That means nothing. A small spot, a shadow, an irregularity that was never going to hurt anybody. But once you have seen it on a picture, you cannot unsee it. And neither can your doctor. That one finding can turn into more scans, more appointments, more worry, more cost, for something that was never going anywhere in the first place. The very colleges that train radiologists in this country have come out and said it plainly. They do not recommend these scans for healthy people with no symptoms. The most expensive test on this entire list is the one with the least evidence behind it. So here's what I want you to actually walk away with. 3 questions, and I want you to write them down, or save this video so you can come back to them. Question 1. If this test finds something, what would we actually do about it at my age? And would that treatment help me live better, or just give us something to treat? Question 2. What happens if we just keep an eye on this instead of acting right away? Watching and waiting is a real medical choice, not a thing to be embarrassed about asking for. Question 3. What is the simplest, safest thing I could do? Instead, the walking, the eating, the sleeping, before we reach for a procedure. Any doctor worth seeing will respect you more for asking these, not less. And if one of them brushes you off for asking, that tells you something about whether they are the right doctor for you. I want to leave you with this. There is a difference between medicine that goes looking for something to find and medicine that helps you keep living the life you already have. My people learned a long time ago that not every shadow needs chasing, and not every machine needs to be trusted more than your own two eyes and your own steady body. You have lived in this body for 60, 70, 80 years. You know more about it than a single appointment ever will. Ask the questions. Take your time. The land never rushed anybody into anything good. Now, everything we just covered comes down to one thing: knowing when to act and when to leave well enough alone. There is one more piece of that puzzle I have not given you yet, and it has nothing to do with the doctor's office at all. It is a drink, one single drink, that handles a good chunk of the everyday complaints most people just carry around for years and never connect to each other. The tiredness, the bloating, the skin that will not settle. I made a whole video on it, walking through exactly what is in it and exactly what it does inside your body, and it is linked right here for you. Go watch it next. And before you go, if this video gave you something worth knowing, hit like and subscribe so the next one finds you too.